All right, stepsons, I'm going to show you one of my favorite breakfasts. Get ready to learn how to cook what we called Germade mush. So I was looking in the store to find Germade mush. That's what Mom made for us when we were growing up quite often. The closest thing I found was cream of wheat. But I found something that costs a little bit less that's about the same thing. What I'm using in this episode today is malto meal. Are you ready to learn how to make malto meal? Alright, this recipe is pretty simple. Instructions are on the back. You figure out what you're going to need and how much of what you're going to need. This is true for cooking lots of different things. We're going to do this one today because when I was growing up, we had this just about every morning for breakfast. For one serving, it's a cup of water, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Bring that to a boil, so I just turn the stove on. For the actual malto meal original, which is quick cooking hot wheat cereal, for one serving, it's 3 tablespoons. I like to put it all in here so I don't have to measure it when I'm putting it in the boiling water. So 1, 2, that was a little extra. So I'll go a little shy on this one. 3, close enough. One thing about this, when you're cooking it, you have to stir it constantly. It doesn't take long to cook. It takes about 5 minutes to cook, but the water's got to boil. So that's what we're waiting for. And it's starting to boil. When you put it in, you've got to stir it, otherwise it gets clumpy. We're going to put it in and stirring constantly while we put it in so it doesn't clump. Notice I don't dump it all in at once, but sprinkle it in. And it immediately starts to boil up. If you're not, so I have to blow on it to keep it from boiling over the top of the pan. And I turn the heat down, let it cook to the desired thickness. So when I was a little boy, I'd come out in the kitchen in the morning after I got up, sleepy-eyed, sit at the counter, there'd be a big pot of this on the stove bubbling. And this is the part that I used to like to watch the most. The little bubbles that would come up. Look like the mud pots or the mud pits in Yellowstone Park. That's probably about the right thickness. So now I'm going to put it in a pan, turn the stove off, or sorry, put it in a bowl, because I don't want to lose a drop. Now the other thing is, this kind of gets sticky in the pan. So put the pan in the sink right away and fill it with water. It's easier to clean up after. The best way to eat this is with half and half, or whole milk. I don't use a lot of whole milk anymore. I don't have any half and half today. But first, you sprinkle sugar on it. All right, there's the sugar. Maybe a little more, just for good measure. I do like the sugar. And now, the best I've got is 1% milk. Put that on. If you pour it all in one spot, it drills a hole and goes underneath. So that's how you make cream of wheat, malto meal, Germade mush. And you can do your own cooking. Make sure you clean up after yourself as well. But in all this stuff, remember the 2 lessons that I want you all to remember, stepsons. That's this. You can succeed even though your dad's not in your daily life. And always remember, your stepdad loves you. I'll see you on the next episode. nutritional value is for this. All right, this may not be the manners episode because you don't generally pick up your bowl to eat. But this is probably just B-roll anyway, so